So these are the materials you're going to need for today's project. You're going to need some yarn of your choice. I'll be using Robin. It's 100% acrylic. I know I say this every day in all my tutorials, but I always double my strand just so I can achieve the medium weight yarn. You're also going to need some pair of scissors. We'll be using a 4.5mm hook. You need some stitch markers to mark your stitches, and of course a tape measure so you can get the right measurements. So the first thing you're going to do is measure the biggest part of your body. So you're going to take your tape measure and measure your hips, and whatever number you get should be an even number. So I have made this dress before in a small to medium size, and I remember chaining 128, and that was my foundation chain for size small to medium. Also, I didn't use a 4.5mm hook. I used a 3.5mm hook for that particular project. So we are going to be making a dress, like I said. It's a summer dress that's really nice, and you can consider wearing this at the beach as well over a bikini. It would make a very beautiful cover up for your bikini. So I'll be making a size large in this tutorial, but you can adjust it to your own size and make something that's going to fit you. So for a size large, I'm going to start with a chain of 160 for a size large. So you're going to make a knot. Okay, insert your hook and make the chain of the number that you have got. So I'm making a chain of 160 for a size large. So go ahead and make the chain. I'll meet you once you have it. Alright, so I have made my chain of 160. So you're going to make sure that your chain is not twisted. And if you're small and using a 4.5mm hook, if you find it too big, you can use a smaller hook and see how that goes. So you're going to attach it with a slip knot on the opposite side. Oops. Yeah. With a slip stitch, guys. Did I say a slip knot? So attach it with a slip stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 3. So chain 1, 2, and 3. So once you have chain 3, you're going to yarn over and make 2 double crochets in that same space. Let me try zooming in. So in that very space where the chain is coming out of, in that stitch where you just slip stitched, you're going to make 2 more double crochets. So our chain is going to count as our first double crochet. And once you're done with that, you're going to chain up 4, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to skip 4 stitches and make a double crochet in the 5th stitch. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 5th one, make a double crochet. And then you're going to make double crochets in the next 6 stitches. So you're all together, they should be 7. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you should have 7 double crochets, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then you're going to chain up 4, yarn over, skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4, and you're going to make 3 double crochets in that same stitch in the 5th stitch. So you're counting 1 2 3 4, and in the 5th one you're going to make 3 double crochets in the same space. So you're going to chain up 4 again, that's 2 3 4, yarn over, skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4, in the 5th one make a double crochet, and you're going to make 7 of them. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. And you're going to repeat that for our first row. So you're going to chain up 4, that's 3 4, and skip 5 stitches, 1 2 3 4, you're skipping 4 and then making 3 double crochets in the next stitch in the 5th one. So you're counting 1 2 3 4 and make 3 double crochets in the 5th stitch. Chain 4 again, and then you're skipping 4 stitches and making 7 double crochets in the next 7 stitches after you have skipped the first 4 stitches. So you're going to continue with that, and I'll get back once you are at the end here. So repeat that same thing, and I'll get back once you are at the end of our first row. Okay, so now I'm at the end of our first row, and to know that you've got the right number, you should end the first row with 7 double crochets. Okay, you're just going to be careful with counting so that you don't skip any stitches which you're not supposed to skip. So once you get to the end here, you're going to chain 4, 1 2, let me adjust the camera a little bit, that's 2 3 and 4, and then you're going to make a slip stitch on top in the 3rd chain. So remember, we chained 3 here while starting our first row, so you're going to make a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. So you can count 1 2, and on top of that very 3rd chain, that's where you're going to make your slip stitch. And then there you have your first row done. So now we're going to go to our row 2. So you're going to chain up 3, chain 3, and in that very same space you just made your chain, you're going to make 1 double crochet, alright, and then you're going to yarn over and make 1 double crochet on top of this second stitch, So that gives you 3 stitches, and then you're going to yarn over and make 2 double crochets in this last, on top of this last stitch. So make 2 double crochets, and at the end of it you should have 5 double crochets. Like I said, we're counting the chain as a double crochet as well, so that's 5 on top of our 3 double crochets from the previous row. And then you're going to chain up 4 again, yarn over, and we are going to make 4 double crochets together. And to do that, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook on top of this very first double crochet, insert your hook in there and pull up a loop. That will leave you with 3 loops on your hook. Pull through 2, and then you'll have 2 left. Then yarn over, go into, insert your hook in the next stitch, which is this one, pull up a loop. That should give you 4 on your hook, and pull through 2. It will leave you with 3. Yarn over again and go in the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, which will leave you with 4 on your hook. Yarn over again and go in the 4th stitch and pull up a loop, and that will leave you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, mine are doubled, so I have to count 2 as 1. I hope you get that. So you're going to pull through 2, which will leave you with 5 loops on your hook, and then you're going to pull through all 5 loops, and there you have 4 double crochets together. Once you have the 4 double crochets, you're going to chain 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to repeat the same thing we just did here on these next stitches. And when you count, you can see that we have only 3 left. 1, 2, 3, and we're supposed to have 4, just like what we got here. So, and to do that, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to make your first double crochet in this stitch where this last stitch is, this last double crochet is. So you're going to insert your hook in that very stitch. I hope you see it. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop and pull through 2. Then yarn over again, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop and pull through 2. Yarn over again, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop and pull through 2, and then that will give you 4 double crochets, and it will leave you with 5 stitches on the hook, 5 loops, and then you're going to pull through all the 5 loops at once, and that's what you should have at the end of it. And then you're going to chain up 4, yarn over, and make 2 double crochets on top of this first stitch, first double crochet here from our previous row. So make 2 double crochets in there, yarn over, go in the next stitch and make 1 double crochet, yarn over and make 2 double crochets in this last one. And at the end of it, you should have 5 stitches, 5 double crochets. And then you're going to chain up 4, yarn over, and we're going to make 4 double crochets together, just like what we did on this one. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the first stitch and pull up a loop, then pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook and pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop and pull through 2. You have 3 double crochets now, and then you're going to yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop and pull through 2, and then you'll have 5 loops left on your hook and pull through all 5, and then you're going to chain up 5, yarn over, start your first double crochet in that very stitch where this one is, and pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook, pull through 2, insert your hook again, and then you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then you'll have 5 left on your hook and pull through all 5 loops. And that's what we're going to repeat for our second row. So as you can see, between the 4 double crochets of decrease that we're doing, the 4 double crochets together, we are chaining 5. We are chaining 5 between these stitches, and then we are chaining 4 when going to our next stitches. Yeah, that's it. So now you're chaining 4. That's 2, 3, 4. You're going to repeat exactly what we did on these last stitches for our second row, and I'll meet you once you are at the end here. I'm now at the end of our second row, and I already chained 4, and what you're going to do is make a slip stitch on top of the chain. So make your slip stitch, and now we are off to our third row, and you're going to start with a chain 3, and you're going to yarn over and make a double crochet in that very space where you just slip stitched into. Make a double crochet, yarn over, make a double crochet on top of the second stitch, another double crochet on top of the second stitch, another double crochet on top of the second stitch, and on our last stitch you're going to make 2 double crochets. And that's what you should have. So at the end of it you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. And then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, and remember here we were counting 5, so you're going to make 3 double crochets in the third chain, or in the third stitch. So you're going to count 1, 2, in the third stitch you're going to make 3 double crochets. Okay, that's 3 double crochets, and then you're going to chain up 4. That's 3, 4, yarn over, make 2 double crochets in the first stitch here, make 2 double crochets in the same stitch, yarn over, make 1 double crochet in the next stitch, another 1 double crochet into the next one, and another one, and 2 double crochets into the last stitch. And that's what you should have, and you're going to repeat this. So now you're going to chain up 4, yarn over, count until you get to the 3rd stitch, 1 2 3, and make 3 double crochets in that stitch. Make 3, and that's it, and that's going to be the pattern for our 3rd row. So repeat this until you get back to where we just started off for our 3rd row, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'm now at the end of our row 3, and to complete it you're going to chain 1 2 3 and 4, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of our chain here on the 3rd chain. So make a slip stitch, and then chain 3, and now we're going to make our 4 double crochets together. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook on top of this next stitch, not here where the chain is coming out of. You're going to go on top of this next stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through the last loops on your hook. And then you're going to chain 5, that's 1 2 3 4 5, yarn over and insert your hook in that very stitch where your last double crochet is, pull up a loop and make another decrease of 4 double crochets together. And then pull through all the loops on your hook, and there you have your first set of hats. And then you're going to chain up 4, yarn over and make 2 double crochets on top of this very first stitch, 2 in the same stitch there, yarn over, make 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch, yarn over and make 2 double crochets on top of this last stitch, which is this one. Make 2 double crochets in that same stitch, and at the end of it you should have 4 stitches. So as you can see, we are chaining 5 every time we are making the 4 double crochets together. Every time we are making them, we are chaining 5 stitches between them, but in the sides here, when going to our next stitches, you are chaining 4. So you're chaining 4 here, yarn over and make a decrease of 4, or you're going to make 4 double crochets together. Chain 5, yarn over, and make another decrease here. Then you pull through all the loops. Chain 4, yarn over, make 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and you're going to repeat that. So basically this is the pattern for our dress. As you can see now, we have completed the 2 hats, this one and this one. Now this one is the one that's in the making, and this one here was half of the hat. So you're going to repeat this same pattern until you have a bigger size that can go, well, let's say until you have a skirt, and it should be long enough to however you want it to be. And then I'll meet you once you have that, and I'll show you what to do next, or how to make it into the dress that we are trying to create. So yeah, go ahead and do that. I'll meet you once you have a bigger project. Oh, and I forgot to give you one small detail. So at the end of the row 4, this is what you're going to have. Once you have chained 4, you're going to slip stitch on top of the stitches, on top of the 4 stitches. So you're going to slip stitch there, and then you're going to make another slip stitch in the next chain there. That's the first chain when we were chaining 5. So make your slip stitch in the first chain, and slip stitch again in the second chain, and in the third chain, and in that very third one, that's where you're going to make the chain 3 to start our next row. And in that very same chain, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And that's what you should have. And then you'll continue with our pattern have. So you will, once you get back to the end here, you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3. But I just wanted to show you what you'll need to do once you have these as you end the row. So continue with the pattern until your project is bigger. Alright, so guys, this is what I have so far, and you're also going to make your dress until it gets to this point. And once you get to this point, we are going to split it just so we can work on the front part alone and work on the back part as well. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we are going to mark some stitches so that we can start creating our armholes. So as you can see, I have marked one heart. This is one and this is the second one. So it means I won't be working in these two hearts in the next few rows that I'll be adding. So we're leaving this space out because that's where your arm will be falling like so, and you will be working from this stitch marker to this other stitch marker on the other side until you get to the shoulder line. You're going to do the same exact thing you do for the front, do it for the back, and both sides will meet around the shoulder line and then they'll be joined. So I hope that's clear. You're going to leave two hearts out of work and you start your rows from the next heart, and that means we have stopped working in rounds. We are going to start working upwards for the front part and do the same thing for the back part. So yeah, I think that's it, and I hope it's clear, you have understood it. But if you haven't got it, feel free to ask me in the comments below and I'll be able to help you. Okay, let's continue and get back to work. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but so far I have made 50 rows. These are 50 rows, and I have used about 4 balls of yarn. These are 4 skeins on this dress. So the next thing we're gonna do is you are going to make a knot and reattach your yarn in the stitch where you've placed your stitch marker. Okay, as you can see this, I'm leaving out this space and I'm going to reattach my yarn on the stitch where the stitch marker is, and I'll work until I get to this other stitch marker, and then once I get to this stitch marker I'm going to turn my work and get back to this other side, and I'll repeat that until that part is long enough to the shoulder line. Okay, I'm going to start from this stitch marker, so just simply take it out and insert your hook and reattach your yarn. And then you're going to chain 3. That's 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over, make 2 double crochets in that stitch. In that very same stitch where you attached your yarn, you're making another double crochet, and with our chain that's counting as our first double crochet, so we now have 2 double crochets in one stitch. So you're going to yarn over and make a double crochet into the next stitch, make another double crochet into the next stitch, and another double crochet, and end the heart with 2 double crochets into the last stitch for this heart. And at the end of it you should have 7 of them, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Then chain 4, yarn over and make 3 double crochets in the third chain. So like I said, nothing much has changed here. We are doing the same thing. The only difference is that we are no longer working in rounds. So you're going to repeat this until you get to the stitch marker, and then I'll show you what to do there. We're almost done here. Okay, so here is my next stitch marker. So I'm now going to chain up 4, yarn over, take the stitch marker out, and place 3 double crochets in the very stitch where the stitch marker was. And that's what you should have at the end of it. So now you're going to chain 3 and turn your work. Then yarn over, and in this very first stitch you're going to place a double crochet, yarn over, make 1 double crochet in the middle stitch, and you're going to make 2 double crochets in the 3rd stitch. And at the end of it you should have 5 stitches, and then you're chaining 4. 1 2 3 4, yarn over, and now you're going to make 4 double crochets together, just like what you've been doing to make the heart. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, and then pull through 2, and then pull through all the last loops on your hook. And once you're done with that, you're going to chain 5, and then yarn over, start the next stitch from that very last one, pull up a loop, pull through 2, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, then pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through the last loops on your hook, and you're going to follow that same pattern until you get to the end. So I'm ending my row with the 4 double crochets together. Chain 5, yarn over, and make another set. So you're making the last stitch in this, you're making the last double crochet in this chain, that very last chain. That's where you're going to place the 4th double crochet, and then you're going to pull through all the loops of your hook. So once you're done with this, you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work. So now you're going to slip stitch until you get to the middle chain, to the 3rd chain, just like how you would do when you ended with hearts. You would make slip stitches until you got to the middle. I hope, okay. So once you get to the middle stitch, you're going to chain up 3, yarn over, make 2 double crochets in that same stitch, chain 4, yarn over, and make 2 double crochets into the next stitch, make 1 double crochet into the next stitch, another double crochet into the next stitch, yarn over and insert your hook, make another double crochet into the next stitch, and make 2 double crochets in the last stitch. So basically it's the same pattern, but we are now working upwards. We're not decreasing or increasing anything. We are doing the same thing, and the only difference is we're not working in rounds. So you're going to continue with this same pattern until this part that we are adding is long enough to your shoulder line. And from there I'll be showing you what to do next to create the neckline and to reattach both sides to each other. So this is what we have so far, guys. I already finished the front part. I cut my yarn, reattached it to the other part, and added 10 rows for each side from where we started off the armholes up to this end here. So now we are going to join this part and do the same thing for the other part, and then we'll be done with our dress. So it's adjustable. So like I told you, you just have to start with an even number. So you have to get the number according to your size. Okay, we are now going to join this part here, and then we are going to join this part here as well around the shoulder line, and then we'll be done with our dress. So to do that, you're going to first turn your dress inside out, like let the wrong side be the one on top, because we don't want the joining the joining stitches to be on top of your dress, so they'll be hidden from inside. Okay, so I had ended my row with this stitch, and the next thing I'm gonna do is chain 1. Okay, and I'm going to grab this other piece, and I'm going to slip stitch on top of the stitches, and I'll do it on both sides and slip stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to make another slip stitch in this stitch and do the same thing for the other. Oops. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1, insert your hook in both space, as you can see. Insert your hook, pull through and make a slip stitch, chain 1, go back in that same space and make another slip stitch, chain 1 again, and make another slip stitch in that same space. Okay, and then you're going to make a slip stitch on top of the stitches as well, and you're doing this on both sides. Then chain 1, and then you can cut your yarn. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Okay, so you're just going to reattach your yarn on the other side. So make a loop and you're going to grab these two together. As you can see, insert your hook in both sides on top of the first stitches for both sides, and then you're going to pull through the loop. That's like a chain one. So we are going to make slip stitches just like how we did for the other part. So you're going to insert your hook in both loops at the same time and then make a slip stitch. It's just as simple as that. If you know a better way on how to join them, just go ahead and do that. And then you chain one and cut your yarn. I'll be weaving in my ends here shortly. The next thing I'm going to do is try it on, just so you guys can see how it looks on me or how it fits me. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next tutorial.